Hey guys, Vin here. Before we get started with this podcast episode, I wanted to let you guys know of a few changes that we've made to the CheckPoint podcast in general. Firstly, this is season 2 of the CheckPoint podcast. You can still check out all of season 1 on YouTube, and I'm planning to rip the audio from them. Like, not physically rip, but you know what I mean. I'm planning to extract the audio from season 1 and hoping to put it up on SoundCloud. Secondly, the second season of the podcast and all subsequent seasons, I'm hoping to make 1 hour to 1.5 hours long. Thirdly, it will be more topic driven, less so discussion driven. That doesn't mean we still won't be talking about things and, just having fun and hanging out. It just means that this will be a faster, leaner version of the CheckPoint podcast. And lastly, I want to let everyone know that regardless of whether or not I have guests coming up for the subsequent episodes, I will be having the podcasts weekly at my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/supervin47, every week, Saturday at noon Eastern. So hope to see you guys there, and this will be episode 1 of season 2. Please enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen of Twitch, YouTube, and wherever else you may be watching this or listening to this. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the CheckPoint Podcast with myself, SuperVin47, my guest, Matt Sparks.
Hello.
And my second guest, Jade from SmashtheBunny.
Hello.
Say that again?
Hello.
Okay. Okay. Couldn't quite hear you there. So, we originally had a fourth guest, iHeartPie Gaming, but he got called away on an emergency salvage mission. So, we have iHeart Bentley, Jade's dog, replacing him.
Oh, right, that's who that was. I was like, who is that?
Okay. So, please tell the audience who you guys are, what you do. We'll start going from left to right. So, Matt, you're up.
Hello, I'm Matt Sparks. I make videos and put them on YouTube and occasionally live stream. I'm getting more into live streaming lately because of some of the things that we're probably going to be discussing today about YouTube. So we got a D&D series that Vin is part of that goes out on Mondays, although because of summer and holidays and stuff like that, it's a little bit sporadic as to when that actually goes out, but that would normally go out on Monday. Wednesdays, I've currently got a series with Pip, Tiny Pixels, who is a streamer, where we're playing through Divinity Original Sin, the first one, and that's a lot of fun at the moment. And yeah, I'm playing some WoW with my friend, and that's going out, and the VODs from the streams are going out, and that's what's going on my YouTube at the moment.
Cool. Jade, what have you been up to recently?
I'm Jade from SmashtheBunny, and recently I'm just trying to find my way through the whole jungle of indie games just to pick out the new, recent, and very curious ones that have been sent to the community lately. And well, I try to get a schedule into my streaming plan, which does not really happen for now, but I'm really up to do that. And besides that, yeah, I'm just making videos about game development and, well, my studying of informatics, computer science.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh,
fancy.
Yeah, the stream scheduling is. I have the same issue.
It's all over the place.
At the moment, it's like I probably feel like streaming like right now, so I'm going to stream, and then that's it. And then I won't stream again for a few days, so I just need to get into the habit of doing it more often.
I guess the one with the most problems of his gaming schedule or streaming schedule is Vin himself.
Oh,
Just like every time I wake up in the night, you're streaming or you check us up.
I am all over the place. So, Matt, would you like to explain why are we getting into Twitch and having all these streaming issues?
Well,
part of the reason.
We had the recent thing like a week or two ago about the way that YouTube were going to be putting ads and stuff on videos, and some advertiser friendly and non-advertiser friendly content and stuff like that. Well, that sort of came around and people were a little bit kind of a bit pissed off about that, because apparently it'd been in the process for ages and they just hadn't communicated it to anyone. Well, now they've got this new thing, this new bright idea called YouTube Heroes, which basically means that anyone that uses YouTube can essentially be a moderator, which just sounds like a really bad idea. So instead of YouTube and Google, who have got like lots and lots of money, well, Google has lots of money. YouTube apparently doesn't have lots of money. So instead of actually paying people, like a team of people, to properly moderate it themselves, and know for definite whether something is against their terms of service or any of that kind of stuff, what they're going to do is they're going to offer points to members of the YouTube community, the millions of people that are out there, to become a YouTube hero. And that entails quite a lot of different things. It's not just flagging videos with inappropriate content. It's also adding captions to videos or subtitles to videos, which I think is a very, very cool idea. I think that's a very cool thing if you can actively encourage people to add captions and subtitles to videos for other people. Say, for example, this podcast goes up onto your YouTube video. Yep. You might want there to be captions and subtitles so that other people can enjoy it.
Also in various languages.
Yeah, and various different languages as well, which I think is a really, really good idea. The problem is, just like with any other kind of moderation system, who is going to moderate the moderators?
Yes,
Watchmen
exactly.
style.
Because as far as I'm aware, they're kind of just letting everyone run wild with this.
So I wonder if they're approaching this from a certain, like Wikipedia, for example, right? Wikipedia is pretty much edited by anyone and everyone, as we all know, but it's so far, like, validity-wise, it's held up.
Most of the time, yeah, but you should still not take anything that you read on Wikipedia as definite. You should probably get another source of information.
Go to the references.
As well.
Go to the references at the bottom of the page.
Yeah. So, it's very easy to just sign up. You have to be at least the legal age in my jurisdiction. That's one of the boxes you have to tick. I'm not sure what that age is. I'm assuming it's probably like 16 or 18. I guess it still depends on
where you are,
kind of content they're sort of watching. So as I mentioned, you can contribute subtitles and closed captions and stuff like that, which I think is a really good idea, and stuff in like alternate languages, which again I think is a really, really good idea. You get points depending on how much you contribute. So accurate reports of videos that violate community guidelines is 1 point. Contributing a subtitle edit that gets published is a 1 point.
All subtitles are penises.
Answering a user question on the YouTube help forum with a comment selected as the best answer is 10 points.
So, Matt, what do the points do?
Well, points mean prizes, Mr. Vin. So, you get up to... So they have 5 levels, okay, of being a YouTube hero. So you can become a hero, which is 0 to 9 points. You join the community and you get access to the hero's dashboard. What the hero's dashboard is, I couldn't tell you because I couldn't find any information about it. Okay, level 2, which is 10 to 99 points. So you only need 10 points to get to level 2.
Okay.
You learn stuff at exclusive workshops. And you can take part in Hero Hangouts, which is basically like Google Hangouts, where you talk to other people who are also doing the YouTube Heroes program, I assume. Okay, so that'll probably be quite easy for most people to get to without too much issue. Now, as I mentioned before, the earning points thing, contributing a subtitle edit that gets published. Okay, that's 1 point. But if you do that for, say, an entire podcast, That's a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of points suddenly just racked up. So if you do like this podcast, which is an hour and a half, that's a lot of points you suddenly get. So we go to level 3. So that's from 100 to 399 points. You get to mass flag abusive videos.
Define mass flag.
Flagging more than one at once.
So for people who don't know what flagging is, you basically see a video and you report it, i.e. you place a flag on it saying like, oh, this video is abusive, or this video has, inappropriate content and should be taken down or moderated strongly. Mass flagging is...
Well, the thing is, if you flag something, it means that most of the time that video cannot be viewed by anyone until...
Is it just viewed or monetized?
It would probably be both.
Okay.
I don't know for definite. It'll definitely be demonetized. Chances are, if it's been flagged by one of these things saying that it contains inappropriate material, it will get put into a list where it will not be... You'll not be able to do anything with that video until someone says, no, it's okay. Or, yes, it needs to be deleted.
Wow.
And this is where the problem that I have with it lies, because it doesn't take you very long to get to level 3 as a YouTube hero, and this system is so open to abuse, it's unreal. Like mass flagging abusive videos, right? So let's say, for example, that you really cannot stand this one particular YouTuber who you really can't, you don't like any of their content, you think they're awful human beings, whatever. There's literally nothing stopping you from just going in and just mass flagging a whole bunch of their videos.
Yeah.
So Jade, do you have any opinions on this?
Yeah, I just googled YouTube heroes, and that's what I like Germany for being the most negative and just calculating headlines that I have. And one says YouTube is just starting to get their rats on light, which I really like. Just like tell us ahead, and it's like it's just the same thing that Matt just focused on. I really think this is going to be happening. If you're regarding the recent YouTube community, which is just already doing this in a little smaller way that they're actually able to do that, and if they have more moderation space, this will. I don't really know where this will lead.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about like the drama that kicked up with the Fine Bros, can you imagine like people that are maybe in the YouTube Heroes program just going to all of the Fine Bros, going to the Fine Bros channel and just mass flagging all of their videos? Then the Fine Bros then have to then sit and wade through all of the kind of processes and stuff to try and get their videos unflagged. Now, a lot of small YouTubers don't have that time or money or resources to be able to do that. So if, say, for example, let's say, for example, I say something that upsets someone.
So, Matt,
even if it's not necessarily inappropriate content, they might deem it as being inappropriate language or something. They might go, oh well, we should flag that.
So, Matt, I do have someone in chat, Salubrious, who says they are a YouTube volunteer and one of the people involved in the program. And if we have any concerns, they will be happy to address them. So, we'll be talking about YouTube Heroes for another 10-15 minutes or so before moving on to a different topic. So, do you have any concerns you'd like to address to Salubrious?
Well... First of all, when you get to level, because there's 2 more levels, I want to talk about these 2 extra levels.
Okay.
So level 4, it says go behind the scenes. That's from 400 points. You get a sneak preview of stuff that YouTube are bringing out. So you become like a bit of a beta tester, which is also part of level 5 as well. Level 4 gives you it says contact YouTube staff directly. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know any content creators that are able to contact YouTube staff directly.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know anyone.
I've been watching NerdCube's video about this. He's got 2.5 million subscribers. cannot contact YouTube staff directly. Boogie, who has 3.5 million subscribers, he can't contact YouTube staff directly. Like, surely that is something that content creators should be able to get rather than YouTube heroes.
Remind me again, what is the difficulty jump going from level 3 to level 4?
Level 3 is 100.
He says his internet is a bit rubbish, but if you type it in, then he can most certainly get around to it. So, and any issues, just type it in the chat.
Well, the whole thing is an issue.
What is the level jump from 3 to 4? Like, how hard is it to get there?
To get to level 3 is 100 points, so that's not too difficult. So that's the mass flagging of videos. To get to level 4, you need 400 points. But again, as I mentioned earlier, it probably won't take that long to get to that point. As I say, there are some really good aspects of this, like the getting rid of like there's people that upload just like movies and TV series and stuff like that. So as far as piracy is concerned, it's probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't like the fact that they're giving these powers to people, random people. It would appear anyone that kind of signs up for it. Let me just before we go any further.
Okay.
I just want to point out that the YouTube Heroes video that they put out to kind of announce it has 1.6 million views, so that's quite a lot. It's had 11,311 likes and 520,946 dislikes. That's a lot. That's like, what, almost a third of the people that have viewed it have disliked it.
Yes.
That's impressive.
And it's only a minute and a half long, so it could be that some of these people have watched it twice. I think the main problem is that YouTube are not doing what they have done before, and they're not really communicating stuff very well, again. Which is what happened with the last thing that people got upset with YouTube about. And I think instead of just giving it to random people, this ability to moderate people's channels, getting rid of horrible comments and stuff in the comments section, because we know how much of a cesspool of horribleness YouTube comment sections can be.
Stay out of there.
Instead of just giving moderation to anyone and everyone, I think it would be much better if they said, right, you're a YouTube creator, you've got 500 subscribers, we'll allow you 2 people from your little community that you can name as moderators to do such and such, to keep control of and moderate your comment sections and, that kind of stuff. Because people in that community are there because they enjoy that content. They might not go to a vlogger's content, for example, and still be able to enjoy that content. And likewise, someone that regularly watches vloggers stuff, if they then go to a gaming channel where the person's cussing and swearing all the time, they might flag that as inappropriate content.
Oh, I see.
And it's like, but whereas for the people within that community that watch that video game person's channel, they might be like, no, we're not, this is not inappropriate to us. This is perfectly fine to us. And it's just like, where do you draw the line there? Like, as I say, like, there's not a lot of, it's not very upfront with what they're actually doing. And if you dig deep enough, you can find some of the information, but it's not easy to find at all. I'm just not sure this is the right way to go at all.
So
a lot of other people kind of agree from what I've seen.
So for those of you guys who are listening to the podcast version of this, Salubrious, a volunteer from the YouTube Heroes program, has been saying in chat, yeah, the video was rather misleading. Personally, if I were them, I'd have made a longer, more detailed video. This program has actually been something since 2012 in the form of the Trusted Flagger program, and has been closed and limited to certain people with accuracy requirements, etc. The same thing is happening with the Heroes program. They aren't going to be accepting everyone, and there will be requirements they'd have to meet. So, again, like, what is the difficulty level for, like, me? I kind of have to look at it from an abuse potential point of view because I'm one of the creators, right? I would be one of the people that could be targeted by abuse of the system. YouTube Heroes don't actually moderate your comments at all. It was another thing misled in the video. It's to do with the Heroes community, which is a different site, basically a forum for people in the program. So they don't moderate comments, but they have the ability to mass flag videos? That sounds like an inconsistent power level to me.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, the comment sections in videos is why a lot of people disable comment sections on videos.
So,
right?
Jade, do you have any questions?
I'm just a little confused because Salubrious is a little concerned about we're just having a bad image of the conception, which is, well, in its former idea, it's, I guess, really good. I'm just thinking back to my time where I had a summer in like 3-4 years ago when my personal vlogs got mass flagged. And like you're using inappropriate content and you're using files that you're not allowed to do. And it was just me in my room with no background music and just my voice. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And it took me so long to just get this off my channel. And I don't know how you can really separate these people from who has good requirements to do this program and who not.
I mean, it would be much better. This is an idea that NerdCubed suggested in his video. This would be much better if instead of like going to a video and saying this is bad, we need to get rid of it, going to a video going this video is perfectly fine, we don't need to get rid of it, and protecting it from other people flagging it for no reason.
So I just posted a question. I rephrased what Jade was saying. How can YouTube Heroes separate good mods from people who are going to game the system for abuse? Like, for example, if I'm a troll and I know these are the requirements needed for me to get onto YouTube Heroes, okay, I'll meet the requirements and then run haywire, just like go wild with mass flagging and everything.
I mean, I don't know a huge amount of the Gamergate stuff, but you know, there's nothing stopping people that I can see from gaming the system, like you say, and if they do it like en masse, then
the system would be overloaded. There'd be no way to stop it.
You could quite easily find that your entire channel is gone.
I mean, yeah, channels have been shut down.
Maybe they need to come out with like. I mean, he's right in what he said in the chat about it's just like the video is misleading because it's essentially a 1.5-minute advert rather than this is actually what's going to happen and this is how it works, which is what they should do, because then they wouldn't have all these people talking about it and saying how much of a bad idea it is. Because at the moment, the only idea that we've got is kind of what we can make from like all these different rules and stuff, but.
So Salubrious replies, when people apply to the program, they are checked for flagging accuracy and quantity. It isn't going to be stuff in the short term. It will look at the entire history of the account. So,
okay, well,
that might be a fair metric.
I've never flagged anything. Does that mean I'll never be able to become a YouTube hero?
I'm always just looking content that's accurate and
that's a good question.
Have to be flagged.
I've had my YouTube account for 8 years, 9 years, maybe even 10 years. I've never flagged a video. Does that mean I won't ever, because I've never flagged a video, I wouldn't be eligible, even though I've been on YouTube for that long? I mean, I don't see that that's a...
So I'm going to call 5 minutes. We're going to switch topic. But Salubrious says, most of us have been involved in the program for years, myself since 2013, and you need not only a high flagging accuracy, but to meet their other checks, and then sign a legal agreement when you join said program. So what do you mean by high flagging accuracy, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It would be
understand
massively counterproductive for YouTube to permit anyone who would waste staff time, because not only would it be an issue for the community, it would use resources that it should not. So, all right, I'm gonna post this one last question. What do you mean by flagging accuracy? And we're going to wrap up this discussion and move on to Digital Homicide versus Jim Sterling. So, let's use this time to wrap up any comments or lingering questions.
So far, I think it's a bad idea. I think if they want to have people moderating channels and stuff, then they should have people from the communities of those channels doing it instead. I guess you could have a bunch of other people doing it for some of the smaller channels that don't have much of a community, but if they don't have much of a community, do they really need to be moderated? Like, you know, I mean, as I say, I can see that there could be some positives to this, but I also see that this whole system is ripe for abuse.
Jade?
Well, it's a very subjective topic to just flag videos, I think. And like Salubrious says, flagging accuracy is the percentage of videos you flag that are removed due to correct terms of service violations. It really confuses me a little bit, because there were some videos that I just watched in the last couple of months. There was one about depression, and it was flagged as inappropriate content, which was taken down, and another one with the YouTuber chopping off his hands while just playing Fruit Ninja, also really chopping his finger off, and it was flagged, but it was still like let online, and it was still like advertiser friendly, which really confused me in which way these requirements are going to work, because it's very subjective and not really settled down to me, just in my point of view, and I'm really confused about that.
On my end, I would say Twitch has a similar thing. Like it's a sort of an amalgamation. So for Twitch, you do have private channel moderators that are chosen by the channel creator from the community. To be fair, this is largely more of a defensive maneuver on the channel creator side, not so much YouTube, instating, hey, you need someone who will unbiasedly strike down videos that are deemed inappropriate by our terms of service. Okay, but I would much prefer that system. But in addition to that, they have a global moderator pool that is significantly smaller. Like, this is a very, very small group that are representatives chosen by Twitch to be global moderators, right? They're not so much applicants, but they're more so, they're more so Twitch representatives, all right? They're the ones that are, I don't know if they're paid by Twitch, but they're so ingrained into the Twitch community that they're given this sort of global moderator status.
I've known a few people like that, yeah.
Yeah, that says, like, they can go to any channel, take a look at the channel, and say, like, hey, you are so far out of bounds, bam, cut. Salubria says, normal content creators don't really need to worry about this kind of thing at all, because we mostly focus on things such as really, really bad stuff. There have been many cases where smaller channels have had issues with false copyright strikes. We still help them get in touch with people and see if there's something that can be done about it. Every flag made is reviewed manually by someone from the YouTube abuse department, so we can't remove videos either. Every flag or every flag from a YouTube hero? Because there is a significant difference in volume between the two. We just make sure that they see things that are of concern and someone on their end makes the decision. Okay. So it's sort of the volunteers actually flag for someone, who is not an automated program to take a look at the video.
I would just like to say that I've had false copyright claims on my videos, and I've never had any help from YouTube at all in regarding those false copyright claims. Yes, so I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. And I know lots and lots and lots of other people who have put content on YouTube that have had false copyright claims and have never had any help with getting it sorted whatsoever. So you just have to dispute it and hope that it goes in your favor, because who knows what's going to happen. It's like rolling the dice or flipping the coin as far as small content creators are concerned on YouTube. I think the unlocking rewards, I think being able to contact YouTube staff directly was something that a lot of YouTubers, like a lot of content creators would like, not just YouTube heroes. I mean, that would be something that I think most people would like, you know, if something goes terribly wrong somewhere. I think a lot of the content creators would prefer it if people could moderate their channel for them so that they didn't have lots of horrible comments in the comment section, because a lot of YouTubers don't have time to do it themselves.
It's interesting how YouTube heroes can't actually moderate the comments, but they can flag the videos.
I mean, you can to a degree. Like, you can allow people to do it on your comment section, and they can remove those comments, but then those comments go into your inbox thing on your dashboard, and you still have to manually remove them each time. So you still get to see all of this horrible messages that have been put into your comment section. So it's just like, well, what's the point? You might as well just leave them there.
Well, I would say once YouTube Hero comes out of beta, we'll see where it stands there, and if it still has considerable amounts of issues, I'm sure the community as a whole will rise up and say, like, yo, this system busted. Which, to be fair, we've done.
They don't even need to rise up. They could just not make videos anymore, and they just go and make videos somewhere else.
They could switch to streaming.
Because at the end of the day, if everyone that makes content for YouTube stopped making content for YouTube, there wouldn't be a YouTube.
That's hard. That would be heartbreaking. That'd be a little bit heartbreaking.
But that's essentially what it is. You know, if that's what it comes down to. If YouTube took care of their content creators better, then when they introduce stuff like this, the content creators wouldn't get so angry about it.
I think that will be a fight going on to the end of time. And speaking of the end of time, let's move on to the next topic. That has been YouTube Heroes discussion. We're now going to move to something also YouTube focused, but slightly more windy, we'll say, and more whiny as well. Now we're going to talk about the case that I brought up, and a case that I have been poring over legal filings over for the past week and a half, because that's how much paperwork there has been. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's absolute bullshit. So now we will be talking about Digital Homicide versus Jim Sterling. Oh my god.
Yep.
All right. Quick background for those of you guys who don't know. Digital Homicide is a fairly infamous video game developer known for posting video games that are effectively asset swaps or asset usage. Like they would use assets commonly used and just like sort of remake it into their video game.
Yeah.
Jim Sterling did a whole bunch of videos saying like, oh, these games are awful and they're just like, I don't like them at all. Unfortunately, Digital Homicide caught word of that and apparently launched a one developer vendetta against Jim Sterling. Like they would hound him in the videos. They would make all sorts of emails and spread rumors and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, why? Why would you do that? That's dumb. They took it a step further. Apparently, after Jim Sterling in, I believe, 2015 struck back with his own video about Digital Homicide, they elected to file a lawsuit against him.
Yep.
So Digital Homicide is based in Arizona. James Sterling is now in one of the Carolinas here, so it'd fall into U.S. jurisdiction. And they sued him for a total of... hang on, I actually have the court filing here. $17 million?
What?
Yep. So the cases brought
They're
by
at
the
17
plaintiff
right now.
to the defendant are 10 counts of libel per se, incident causing lost product damage, lost sales, financial damage, emotional damage, libel per
Emotional
quote,
damage.
emotional damage. Oh,
Okay.
wait till I get to that one. You're gonna love that one. So
Uh-huh.
there are 10 counts of libel per se. The phrase per se means in and of itself, which means regardless of whether or not there was any actual damage by the quote-unquote libel said by Jim Sterling, it still counts as illegal. That's what they're saying. Like, I may have not been hurt by this, but what he said is still bad, and he should still pay me for it. That's basically what Digital Homicide has said.
Right.
So this case filing was back in, I want to say, March of 2016 is when it was filed.
So, not that long ago then.
Not that long ago. It has been basically back and forth between Jim Sterling's attorneys and Digi Homicide themselves. Digital Homicide tried to run a Kickstarter, a GoFundMe, and what's another donation website? They try to run these donation websites to get people to pay them to hire a lawyer. They amounted to a mass total of $450, which would not pay an attorney to wipe his nose. Meanwhile, Jim Sterling has enlisted 2 attorneys from a law firm. So, yeah, this is not going well. Patreon,
Right.
That's right. There was a Digital
Oh,
Homicide
was it
Patreon.
Patreon? Oh my god.
Yeah, there was Patreon, GoFundMe, and Kickstarter, all trying to say, give us money so that we can put a lawsuit to this guy. And it's a complaint for civil action, personal injury versus libel per se and libel per quote. And it was elected to not be put to a trial by jury. So
Trial by combat instead.
oh my god, that would be great. That would be so great. Okay. Oh, here we go. The amount in controversy versus Jim Sterling is $10 million, $761,000. All right, so
Wow.
direct product damage, which is damages from loss of sales that the developer has put forward, $2.26 million.
I think that's a
It
bit
get-
over the top.
It gets better because that is the smallest number here.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god.
Are you kidding?
Digital Homicide also put forth emotional, reputational, and financial distress, $4.3 million.
The problem with that is that he did that most of that himself. Like as
Yep.
far as like his reputation and stuff is concerned, as far as from what I'm aware of, he did most of that himself.
Oh, it gets better. Punitive damage requests, which is basically asking the court to demand this money from Jim Sterling to pay to Digital Homicide, $5 million. So on top of the $6 million before, which is paid directly from Jim's pocket, from the
Right.
court, he needs $5 million. Like, for
Right.
the court to demand of Jim $5 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, over the following months up until now, James Sterling is pretty much shot back with his lawyer saying, no, this is bullshit. Motion to adjourn, I believe. I believe these are motions to adjourn, which basically means there is no case here. It's bullshit.
No, there isn't.
So for something to count as libel, it has to be a statement of fact. So fact versus opinion. Fact being that, say, James said, oh, Digital Homicide literally eats babies. That would be a false statement of fact. Digital Homicide's games are utter garbage. That is an opinion. So that's basically the case being put here, that Jim's like, I've only ever said opinions. There's no case here.
I mean, it's a reviewer, right? He was doing a review.
It was a review. It was a review of several of their games. And
So
because
does that
they fought back.
if Digital Homicide were to win, for example, then anyone
They're not
that's
gonna
ever
win.
had a negative review, whether it be a TV show, a movie, a video game, literally a book, literally any kind of work of creative art, I suppose, you could sue someone that didn't like it for giving you a bad review, which is just ridiculous.
You could sue them for emotional, reputational, financial distress of $4.3 million.
Which is just stupid. It's just stupid.
It is. And it's...
Like, okay, he didn't like what you made. Big deal.
So the case
So
went
what?
back and forth with Jim's lawyers motioning to kill the case, and with the Romine brothers, which head Digital Homicide, shooting back with 77-page addendums, right? They shot back so many pages of just screenshots, pure screenshots of Jim and Jim's YouTube comments, and it's
Right.
garbage. It's just garbage. They're shooting back screenshots, so much so that the judge actually had to strike down one of their addendums and tell them it's too long. Come back with something more substantial. Because these guys don't have attorneys. They don't have lawyers who know how to do these kind of things. So they're literally just throwing everything they have at the judge. And the judge is like, what the fuck is this spam? This is bullshit. I don't have to deal with this.
Right.
So currently, Jim Sterling's attorneys have moved for a motion to dismiss the case. That's what the word I wanted to say, not adjourn, dismiss.
Yeah.
And the Romine brothers have shot back a motion to cancel that motion to dismiss. And currently the judge is, sitting on it, trying to figure out the decision. I think they
Right.
don't have a case.
No, they don't. Now,
So-
here's
Should
the
they
question.
even demand
Like,
more than the $12 million?
Hmm?
They just demanded a video apology for at least 5
yeah.
years on his front page on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's
We're just
yeah.
like, what?
That's under the non-monetary request. It's a video.
Right.
It's demand for video apologies and retractions.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
So
At
fast
least 5
forward.
years to the front page.
So fast forward to September of this. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago. Digital
right, okay.
Homicide then put forward a lawsuit against Steam users. I shit
What?
you not. I shit you not. Plaintiff.
Well,
Plaintiff,
okay.
Digital Homicide versus, I shit you not, Jane/John Doe's 1 through 100, aka Steam user da. I shit you not. They don't know their names.
I'm kind of gobsmacked that this is even a thing that they're trying to do. Like, this just screams idiocy at me. Like, you're trying to sue 100 people whose names you don't have
Nope. For rude comments.
because they left rude comments on something
So
to do
let
with
me
the game.
read this. The defendants, John/Jane Doe's 1 through 100, are not known by name to the plaintiff, and are as of yet undetermined, are from undetermined locations as well. The court has diversity and
Excellent.
subject matter jurisdiction over this action under, blah blah blah. The defendants are of unknown and diverse locations, and the amount in controversy exceeds the sum of $75,000 per defendant.
Okay, so he wants like $750 million or something, or $75 million.
Oh, it's more than that. It's more than that because he wants to sue them for, what is it now? More libel and slander and conspiracy to commit cyberbullying, taking
Right.
advantage of lack of moderation tools to commit harassment, formation of hate group for the purpose of interference with business product damage and harassment, repeated belittling of the plaintiff in the eyes of the plaintiff's customers, peers, and business partners. This applies to harassment and stalking. So,
Right.
yeah. This is...
So The thing is, though, he's dug this hole himself. Like the people at Digital Homicide, I don't know how many people, if it's just one person or a bunch of people, but they've dug. This hole has been dug by themselves.
Yep.
Now here's some questions because I don't fully understand the situation.
Okay.
If they've used or borrowed in quotation marks assets from other games, and it's like it can be proven that they've done that, then surely would that not get them in trouble with the developers or the publishers of those games? Or are they like?
As of yet, no one has come forward to call them out on that.
Because I'm sure
and they were purchased. So, but
because I was under the impression that some of the guns that were used in a Digital Homicide game were essentially just kind of.
I thought they were Valve. Yeah, they were like Valve guns.
Yeah,
like stuff from Left 4 Dead.
I'm pretty sure I'd seen something like that was very, very similar to like a Black Ops, one of the Black Ops games as well, or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, the part of it had been changed ever so slightly, but essentially it was the same gun. It just had like a different view or finder or something on it. I was just like, okay, like surely that would get them in trouble. I mean, I don't know how that works.
Well,
the other thing is
different. Well, even Valve themselves sells some of their assets as like, well, if you're indie and you just want to explore the world of game making, just take our assets, just give us $5 and just use them for your little project as long as blah blah blah. Right. Just like it does make you a good game developer if you use other people's assets. That's just, I guess, what was criticized.
Yeah. So how is Jim Sterling? He's based in the UK, right?
He's actually based in America now. He's since moved over to South Carolina, I think.
Right. Okay.
So that's why there's even a case between the two of them, because it's within U.S. jurisdiction.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure.
The Gamer Domain says that I think there are 2 employees at Digital Homicide. That is true. There are 2 brothers. Right. James and John Romine, I believe.
So basically, they used a bunch of assets from other video games, put them together into a game, and tried to sell it on Steam and expect people to think it was good?
Yes. And they were not happy when Jim Sterling and his people called them out on it. So, for the interesting
Well, I think the lesson for them there is to not do that then. If they want to make a game that people are going to enjoy and people are going to like, then they've got to put in a little bit more effort than just taking assets from other games and sticking them in.
So for people who don't know, this new lawsuit brought by Digital Homicide to the Steam users, they actually subpoena Valve for access to the users' full names and addresses.
Oh, wow.
Yep. As of now, as of current reporting on this, Valve is still sitting on that subpoena, and they haven't released any press releases about it, and they haven't said anything about it. I think they're just going to be like, no.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they're actually... Unless they
deleted all of the projects just recently.
Oh, yeah, and that's true. Valve has also deleted all of Digital Homicide's games.
Just like, I barely know these Digital Homicide games. And like, I'm just... In the background, I'm just watching like a reel of all the games they made, and like everything I could say about them would get me a lawsuit against me, I guess. As a game designer,
better be careful what you say, just in case.
So all told, Digital Homicide is suing the Steam users for This one is $17 million.
Right.
Yep. Emotional distress, $5 million. Punitive damages, $10 million, and compensation charges almost $3 million. So it's like $2.9 million. But yeah, those are the facts of the case. Valve has not yet released any opinion on whether or not they're going to go forward with the subpoena or if they're going to fight it.
They're probably too busy laughing.
They're probably too busy laughing. So
yeah, they're probably still too busy laughing. They've probably been laughing ever since the subpoena came in, and they're probably still laughing now because it's a joke. It is a joke.
Oh, can I please add that some of the assets of the blood spreading around was also used in my alien isolation video that I used to just show the alien actually killing me, which is really a rookie blood spreading asset that you can put in your videos, and it's actually used there without even removing the green screen, which really surprises
Wait,
me.
They didn't remove the background.
That-
Apparently, they did a very
that
bad
didn't.
job. You can
Oh, you
still see
can't
the
say
green.
that. You gotta lose that lawsuit for that.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, I'm just surprised.
I'm amazed that someone had the balls to try this. It's like I know
surprised
Americans
how
have a
they
bad
really are.
I know Americans have a bad reputation for getting involved in lawsuits and litigation and stuff like that, but I'm
big dumb.
surprised someone has the balls to try this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know where these 100 people are. I'm going to sue them for almost $18 million. Give me their names.
It's so dumb. Like this whole situation is just ridiculous.
I think it's amazing. I'm getting popcorn. I kind of watch them. So let's
I can't even begin to imagine how this is even started. Like, if I made something and people didn't like it and there were bad reviews about it, I'd probably feel bad for a bit, and then I go, right, well, I guess that didn't work. Maybe I should make something better if I want people to like it. Or you go the other route and go, well, I don't care if they liked it or not because I didn't make it for them. I made it for me and like this small amount of people, or whatever. Right? Like, I was watching a thing recently. It was about Kevin Smith, the film director, and his most recent film called Yoga Hosers had been generally panned across the board. Like, loads of people hated it. It got really low score on Rotten Tomatoes, and he's like, well, you know, I didn't really make it for all of these like 40-year-old white men that go to. I made it for like teenage girls because my teenage daughter's in it, and
Wait,
I made it for
what film
teenage
was this?
girls. It's a film called Yoga Hosers.
yoga hoses. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just gonna edit this.
it's got his daughter in it, and it's got Johnny Depp's daughter in it. Okay, and they're like the main characters, and all these like negative reviews came in about it, but he didn't file a lawsuit against any of these people. He just took it on the chin and went, okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. You didn't like it, sure, okay, but I didn't make it for you. I made it because I wanted to, and I wanted to put my daughter in a film, and I wanted to make a film for people, like other people around my daughter's age. That's who I made it for, not for most of the people that write for Rotten Tomatoes or whatever.
Do you mind if I just forward you the
and it's
video
like-
that I'm actually watching in the background, just so you can get an image of, like their portfolio wheel?
What'd you say, Jake?
Would you mind if I just now in the second forward you this video that I was just channeling to have an overview over there? Good.
Sure. Send the video via Skype chat, and I'll see about putting it on the screen.
It's just like just watch it with no sound, just like to have a beautiful overview over there, portfolio reel.
Oh, this is a digital homicide thing. Hang on.
So my point is that you've got two different ways of taking negative criticism there. One of which is one saying, that's okay if you don't like it. I've made other films that you might like. I wasn't really making it for that target audience, but that's fine if you don't like it. And the other one is like, you don't like my thing that I made? I'm going to sue you for all the money in the world. It's like, what? Like,
That's not good.
That contrasting, I just don't understand how people can just be like, oh, you didn't like my thing.
Do you think this sets a precedent?
For how stupid people can be? Yes, sure.
Like,
I guess with criticism, there are only two things that you can do with it. Just like with a bad night, suck it or spill it. Sorry.
wait, what? What'd you say? I didn't understand that one. Hang on, could you say that again for the? What did you say a bad word? You say a bad word on my stream? Are you saying bad word? Oh, what the hell am I watching, Jade?
It's just the truth.
Are these actually their games?
Yes.
Oh my god! That's awful!
Don't say these things. They can get you in trouble easily.
Oh my, what? How much for, like... What is that? Oh,
Yes.
I see. It's just videos of, like, awful car crashes and whatnots. See, these are, like... Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
It's really surprising. I really expected something else, and it's like
Okay. Why is there motorcycle crashes? I don't know.
I think it's just part of the video saying, like, how bad they're screwing up.
All right, it's just like a dumpster fire. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
So
Right.
did they really? Wow, they really just took that blood asset from the
Yes.
game, not from the game, but like from the internet, and, that's awful. Oh my god! Wow, they did too. Wow. Okay, so. Well, good luck, Digital Homicide. That's all I can say.
So okay, yeah, this is them finding the blood splatter. So here's a question for you. Is it possible? I mean, I don't know much about like law or anything like that, but can once this thing gets thrown out, because it's bullshit, can Jim Sterling then countersue them for all this bullshit that he's had to go through because of this?
Yes.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Like if the case gets dismissed, I believe he can countersue them for damages. If they pushes it to court and they lose, he can then demand reparations from them. Which of course they're not going to have money. Like they're not going to have money to do it.
No.
But yeah, he can do that. I don't know if he will.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, they're as far as I can see. I mean, I'm not a lawyer or whatever, but as far as I can see, they don't have a case. Like most people I know who know anything about this kind of thing know that they don't have a case. Really, there's nothing. It's a review. They're getting salty about the fact that they're getting bad reviews because they made a bad game.
Reviews are protected under the First Amendment, as well as under fair use law set forth by Digital Baby versus Viacom.
So, regardless of whether it's a critique or a review, it's essentially the same kind of thing. You're giving your opinion about a piece of art or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So, if it's an opinion, tough shit, I'm afraid.
Apparently, they didn't treat it like that. They treated it like a personal attack on their.
But it doesn't matter how they treat it, or if they get salty about it. At the end of the day, it was a piece of an opinion piece, and everyone's got an opinion. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but it also means you shouldn't sue someone because they have a different opinion to the one that you have.
Well, on that note, let's wrap up the stream. Any last opinions or thoughts on this? I would say it's a very
my mind empty. It's just like I didn't expect that for today. Just like when I woke up, I expected this day to be nice and just completely.
Have you not been following the internet?
I have been following this issue, but I never expected it to be. I have like one of my friends is a game designer who recently told me that he's just doing a little indie game and he just hopes that Jim Sterling will never make a video about his game, but because his game is actually pretty good and it has a pretty good idea and I just like it so much because it's really something new in the survival game area that hasn't been done before, or maybe it has has been done before, but it hasn't come to any fame. So when I just got into this whole Jim Sterling conversation, I didn't expect something like this. When I even heard the amount of money that has been
Oh yeah,
posted,
it's pretty
I
bad.
just expected something different than this what I just watched. It's just like
I mean, yeah, it's awful. It's just straight up like, come on, guys. If they do win this case, though, they will be $28 million richer.
And the world will be a sadder place for it.
I think this case is very important. I think we should not...
Regardless of whether they win or lose, they
This is
will never be
precedent.
able to make games again.
Yeah, they won't be able to make games again.
That's the word I was looking for.
People won't ever be able to. People won't ever buy their games again. Especially not under the digital homicide. I think they should have called themselves digital suicide, really. But
That would be apt. I think.
Yeah.
Has a joke been made?
Digital harakiri.
I don't know if that joke hasn't been made, then I'd be very surprised.
Boom!
But
this is the first one.
Yeah. They can't make games again. Not under that title anyway. They'd have to disappear for a bit. They'd have to then make a new company or studio or whatever.
Like Hello Games.
Maybe get some people with some actual talent to work.
Ow!
Yes, that's just a comment that was in the chat. Can we just put a little spot on
Yeah,
that?
there you go. Yeah, if they did win, they'd be able to buy actual talent for their studio. Yeah.
Burn! But yeah,
But then, if anyone's looking to get into the game business, regardless of whether they're like an artist or a coder or whatever, if they know that they're going to be working for the two guys that used to work for Digital Homicide, they're going to be like, I do really want a job, but
I don't need a job that badly.
I don't need a job. I just can't see that they're going to be able to work in video games again after this, regardless of whether they win or lose. I mean, if they win, they won't have to work in video games or anywhere else, probably, for the rest of their lives. But I just don't see that that's going to happen.
No. Jade, do you have any last opinions on this case before we wrap up the show?
Oh, apparently they have renamed themselves on multiple occasions.
Oh, shit.
Probably to
That's
get
right.
bad-
Yeah. They
bad
named...
stuff.
They ended up taking a name from... I believe it's a Finnish company from Finland. Electric Arts or no, Electric Game Arts or something like that. Like they have renamed the company several times. But my opinion on this is, no matter win or lose, this case is precedent. Like this is not a case we should dismiss lightly. It's a case that says basically if they win, game developers like Matt and Jade say will be able to sue game reviewers.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not just games though, is it? It's as I say, like
It's anything.
movies,
Yeah.
books, pieces of art,
Music. Yep. Movies.
any kind of art form at all, basically.
If this case ends in Digital Homicide's favor, that will be a blow against First Amendment rights, like the rights of free speech and opinions and reviews.
Yep.
Like consumer protection will be out the window. If they lose, which they most definitely will, this will basically be another hammer saying like, okay, you can't pull this kind of bullshit. It's a review.
Yeah. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time and money.
I mean, they are wasting time and money by doing it in the first place. Because I can't see that anything's going to come of it for them. It's just Jim Sterling is just going to be like, oh, for God's sake, just get on with it and get it over with, and then I can sue your asses for wasting my time.
I'd like to sue your asses for 27 cents. Because that's how much your asses are worth to me.
Even if he just gets the money back that he's had to spend on his lawyers and that kind of stuff, like court costs and all the rest of it, that way he gets to show that he's the bigger man of it all as well, rather than trying to sue them for, although he'd be well in his rights to sue them for literally everything that they had.
All right, on that note, let's wrap up the podcast on a positive note. Guys, what are you planning to do? What are you all doing?
Well, I'm about to go out.
Ooh.
So, don't know.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Or did you mean like with YouTube and
No, like anything. YouTube, streaming,
Oh,
like...
okay.
Yeah, you're about to go out. Shit, man. Go live life.
Yeah, my
What
mate's
is this?
doing.
I heard this real life has a very
some
bad
plans.
multiplayer.
Yeah,
What'd you say,
yeah,
Jade?
it's awful.
I
My
heard this
friends. Go on.
I heard this real life has a very bad multiplayer. How do you manage that?
It does have bad multiplayer. I lag it. Rubber banding back and forwards. Yeah, it's awful. So coming up on my channel, there's going to be some more D&D eventually when we actually play some. Vin.
I'm free. I think we were waiting on our dear
Everyone
cat
else.
paladin. Our dear Alston. Last time.
Oh right, yeah. No, he's back from.
He's back?
From
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good to go for tomorrow.
Okay, well maybe you can poke some people. But
I
yeah, there'll
will
be more
poke them.
D&D. There'll be more D&D coming up when we play some. There'll be more Divinity coming out soon. Wednesday will be some more of that. There's going to be some more World of Warcraft stuff. And I'm hoping to start streaming tomorrow, maybe.
Ooh.
I don't know. As I say, at the moment, there's no schedule. It's like, I feel like streaming. And then I stream. So if you want to check out any of my streams, probably best to follow me on Twitter. My address is on the screen under my little bald-faced beardy man icon.
Yeah. I like that icon. Did Susie draw that icon?
Susie did draw that.
Ah, okay.
Because Susie's the best.
At Susanna Grace. Follow her. Jade, what are you up to?
Oh my god, I have such a lot. As you know me, I have a lot of project in the queue that might be coming up. Maybe I will start this weekend or the next weekend the first creative streams on my channel.
Ooh, what you making?
Baking.
Baking.
Nice.
Baking.
Would that be under cooking?
Yes. I think so. I don't have. I just have a setup made up. Maybe
I
it
still
will
can't
work.
believe.
Maybe.
Like, I still can't believe Twitch has like Twitch cooking, Twitch eating, Twitch.
I love it. I think it's
but-
fantastic.
But you really have to find very, very creative streams. Like, well, when it comes to drawing or music, there are absolutely stunning talents on Twitch that you just can follow immediately. But on some channels, they're just like, when you have a look at Japanese channels, like, you know, social eating stuff, like what a nice preparation they have in their room or on their plates and stuff like that, you really get an image of what social eating is in Japan. And like, if you just watch some newer channels, like in the European region, it's like, okay, they just have like, what is it on your plate? Is it mud? I really can't really say what you're eating, but just try not to
It
die.
may actually be mud. It may actually be mud.
It's just like something I don't know.
Like, gotta get them viewers. It's like,
Gotta
watch,
get that
come watch
viewers.
me eat
Be like,
mud.
less aesthetics, more viewers.
I'd watch that.
You'd watch it?
Well,
Yeah. I'd watch someone eat a plate of mud. Sure. I'd be
well-
cringing the whole time and be questioning my my life
Your life
choices,
choices?
but I would still watch it.
All right, you can find me here and on my YouTube
Yeah, what
channel.
are you doing, Vin? Hey,
Yeah.
Vin.
I'm
tell us
actually
what
in
you're
the-
doing.
I'm in the middle of intermission streaming. I'm working with my new artist, Laughing Llama, getting up a new banner and scheduled banner up. Like, you know how people on their banners have like, I'm be streaming from this time, this is what we're streaming. I'm working with my artists to get that up and running. But in the meantime, just to get me back into YouTubing and streaming, I'm just playing random games, like whatever strikes my fancy, just to get me back into the mood.
yeah,
Yeah, that's been the one thing that I've been struggling with. It was like, I fancy streaming, but what do I play?
Yeah. I'd honestly just pick something random and then get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that will be it for season 2, episode 1 of the CheckPoint podcast. As you may have noticed, we are the faster, more direct, more punchier 1 hour or something version instead of the 3 hour long discussion.
Yep.
How are you guys feeling about this shorter time?
Well, it suits me because I mentioned I've got to go out. But I would have, if I hadn't had to go out, I would have quite happily sit here for another 2 hours chatting to you about whatever. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
All right, cool. This podcast is produced by me, Supervin47, with my great guests here and friends, Matt Sparks.
Hello, and goodbye.
And Jade from SmashtheBunny.
Yeah, have a nice evening.
Hi. And also we have Jade's dog, Bentley, filling in for I Heart Pie. Pie, I'm looking right at you. I'm looking at you, dude. We'll get you on the next one. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope to see you all next time for the next podcast as soon as I get that going. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.